and my boyfriend also wanted one. So we went together. He was really sure about what he wanted because he was in chiropractic school, so he wanted some sort of a symbol of some kind that was associated with chiropractic. I wasn't really sure what I wanted. I wasn't as convicted. I don't have any convictions about it, but I thought at least maybe flowers or something. So I got an anklet around of flowers around my ankle, of course, going the full circle around. I think Courtney Love had one, and I thought it looked really cool on her, so I got one too.
The music I was listening to, the bands had tattoos, and it was a pretty lame reason, but as I got more and more tattoos, it stopped being about that. It started being about, you know, first of all, some kind of maybe addiction to tattoos.
Tattoos are addicting, supposedly, to each their own, but there's also a myth that odd numbers are good luck, even numbers are bad luck. So if you get 1, you're supposed to be okay. 2, you're looking to get number 3. But then after you do 1, you're like, it's just, you want more and more and more. It's something that you can't really explain, but I've seen it firsthand. Like, okay, I wanted the second one a little after I got the first one, but then I waited for a long time before I even did it.
I don't think there's really any places that are off limits for me to get tattooed. There's places for right now, at this point in my life, because I'm so young. I've already made what I feel is a big commitment by having my chest as a woman done, you know, and my arms visibly done. But I really want to have my throat and neck done. And I don't necessarily see anything happening for my face, but it's not something that I've completely shelved either.
What I mean by a scrapbook of my life is that this first one that I got is this dragon, and I was really into dragons when I was 15, and I had been, you know, for a long time. And I'm not so much into dragons anymore, but that's okay, because even though they're not a big thing, it shows what I was into when I was 15 years old. This one on my back here, it's a comic book character of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and I was going through a point in my life then where he just really applied to like me. It's this comic book character of this man who's a homicidal maniac, and anytime anybody, you know, pisses him off or upsets him, he brutally murders them. And so, and it's in your head that you do it. It's just like a way to vent out anger, and that might have been what I'm going through, you know, at that time in my life. And same goes for my other tattoos, and they just remind me of what it was like.
When I got the tattoo, I knew that I had in my family there's a surgeon, a plastic surgeon, who lasers tattoos off. So I always had in the back of my mind that I could get it removed if I wasn't happy at some point. So I kind of got it knowing that I may not keep it.
Was it as easy as you thought it would be?
I got a discount. Financially it was a discount.
It cost me $50 and maybe $10 tip to get that tattoo put on. And it took 5 minutes.
And to take it off?
And to take my tattoo off, it takes $200 each session. I'm up to 6, I believe. I can't even keep track anymore. And about 5 minutes of agony, pain. You know, it's like when you get your eyebrows waxed, after a while you're numb to it. In the beginning it hurts. Now I'm used to the feeling, but I still dread going in there. So right now we're looking at about $1,000 to $1,200 that's already been spent, and it's still in process. And it still looks pretty there.
There's one older street kid that I met who actually did tattoos, and he happened to be a junkie also, unfortunately. And so he showed me his work, and I was kind of a little bit out of my mind to go, you know, and have him tattoo me. But we went to his friend's house, who happened to also be junkies, and they actually all did drugs, and then he did my tattoo. And it's an okay tattoo, but unfortunately it looks like it has bunny ears, and they're really supposed to be knives coming out from behind his back. And I need to get something done with that, so I guess he could have bunny ears, but he's not supposed to, the Johnny. And so, yeah, and the tattoo didn't even get finished, actually. The junkies whose house we were doing it at got sick and kicked us out when it was halfway done. And I actually had to go back to the same guy who touched up my first tattoo and have him finish this one on my back.
I have 2 tattoos on my body that are not my favorites, I guess. I have one that is already in the process of being covered up, and it's a pinup girl. A friend did it, and he had been tattooing for several years, but he'd never done a pinup. So he asked if he could do a pinup on me, and I told him sure if he came back in a couple of years and covered it up. So it's in the process of being covered up. And then the other one that I have is a tattoo that I received from my ex-boyfriend. And we actually met in the tattoo shop where I used to work, and he was an artist, probably is still an artist, and always wanted to be a tattoo artist, and he had gotten his machines in February and was really excited about it. And then the next day we got into an argument, and he ended up beating me up pretty good, and so we broke up. But then we started talking probably June, so 4 months down the road, 3 months down the road, and I agreed to let him have him tattoo me. I don't even really remember like if he proposed it or if I suggested it or if it just came to be, but I knew getting the tattoo, like going in to get it, that it was going to have to be covered, and that it probably wasn't going to be gorgeous because he'd only been tattooing for such a short amount of time. And part of the agreement was that I got to tattoo him, so that was part of the incentive, that I was going to get to leave my mark too.
Some people tend to self-mutilate, is that the right word? When you start piercing and, well, some people go to extremes. Some people might cut themselves and do that stuff, and then some people might just get a million tattoos or a million piercings. At the time, I guess I thought maybe that might ease the pain. I don't know. There is some kind of strange relationship with the two. Like a piece of me, when I got the first tattoo, I was going through so much pain about losing that person that it was kind of painful for me to get the tattoo, but it's a permanent reminder that I always remember it. So it was kind of a healing process. So I don't know if unconsciously I thought I was doing the same thing, but this one just didn't have the same reaction as the first one did. So there is a strange connection.
And it's in a private enough spot that I don't ever really have to talk about it, you know, because it's not someplace where, like my arms or my chest, where people can kind of ask me about it. You know, nobody needs to see it unless, you know, I make that possible. Okay, just that it's so bad and totally, yeah, it's almost comical now. But you should see his. It's even worse.